Hello, tribe. Hey, tribe. Welcome back to the Love Chat, episode 49, where we are uncut, unedited, and unfiltered. I'm so excited for today's episode. Again, this is episode 49. We're about to embark on another great number, and I'm excited about that. But I gotta push on and give you a little bit about my next guest I am very excited about. If you've been following us on social media the last 4 years, you might see a little nickname that might pop up that kind of rhymes. She's a wife, she's a sister, daughter, friend, an encourager, my good friend. She's an entrepreneur, somebody that'll slay your hair and also slay in prayer. I am happy to welcome to the Love Chat, episode 49, featuring Felicia Curtis. Hey, girl.
Hey, Cree. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. So that nickname I was talking about, you may hear me throughout today say Fee Cree, and you may hear her say Cree Fee.
That's us.
That is us, the name twins. But I'm excited to have you here, Fee Cree. Thank you.
I am excited to be here. Oh my goodness, what an honor.
Thanks for coming. Woo, woo, woo.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Fee has been a great part of my journey as an entrepreneur and a great encouragement to me. So I'm so happy to share her with my tribe. She's one of my diamonds, y'all. But today's subject, we're going to jump right into it. Today's subject is, why are you comfortable with not being a success?
Wow.
And it's perfect for you because, again, on the Love Chat, this is about loving yourself, spreading some love, learning from each other. And Fee Cree was one of those ones that kind of asked me that question without asking. In her own words, you asked, like, Cree, what you doing? Cree, you already know this. What's the problem? So we gonna jump right in, and I'm gonna ask. First, I'm asking you to tell a little bit about yourself. Like, what does your day-to-day look like? What is success for you?
Oh my goodness. So, success is a journey, right? We hear that said a lot. And I think the best part of it is just showing up for whatever it is that you have before you, is showing up. I think that's the biggest obstacle that we face as entrepreneurs, is showing up, like getting to your goal, getting to your list, getting to just being there. So I think that's a big part of success in anything that you do, not just being an entrepreneur. I mean, that's as simple as weight loss, showing up, do the work.
Yeah.
So I think putting forth the effort every day. So that's one thing that I think is important.
I like that. Come on, like I tell everybody else, I got my pen and my paper right here. Okay. So I'm writing.
Okay. So I may need to write it too, because I might have to pull it out for myself next week.
Throw out the nuggets, whatever the Lord gives you, darling. So, last week, episode 48, I had Mama Rhonda on. And one of the things that I said, I told Tribe about her was, she was the person that plucked me out of the weeds when I was in a dark space. And
Wow.
it wasn't just necessarily that it was a dark space, it was a place where, like the subject says, I was comfortable with not being a success because of everything that
Wow.
was going around, or everything that was happening in my life. I was just like,
Mhm.
nah, mm-mm, no.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I don't know what made me and you click. I can't even quite put my finger on it.
Mhm. Mhm.
I just know that was it. It was it. But when it
Yeah.
came to someone such as myself, um, what do you tell them to bring them out? Like, hey, you got this. What's wrong with you? What's
Mhm.
why don't you want to be a success? What how do you encourage a person like
Well, I think it's easy to encourage and push someone towards success when you see what's on the inside of them.
that? Hmm.
When you see that maybe all they really need is a little encouragement. So, and I think for us, where we were pretty much being a part of leadership, that's what we were doing, was just encouraging each other.
Hmm.
And so it may have came across that I was specifically encouraging you, but definitely you were encouraging me. So I think the drawing of the two of us is knowing on the inside that we're like-minded. You want to see other people succeed, you want to succeed. Sometimes you just need a little bit of push.
Yeah,
And you could see the leadership in people, you can see those qualities. And so yeah, it's not hard to push somebody towards success when you can see it on them.
yeah.
And sometimes other people can see it before we can see it ourselves.
That's a good point. Because I was just gonna say, I from time to time get the thought or the word of being a leader, me being a leader, or you're a leader, you're a leader, and I'm like, nope,
Mhm.
mm-mm,
Mhm.
nope. In the words
Mhm.
of my brother, I'm a lay member.
Mhm.
I said,
Yeah.
look here.
You just don't want to be boo boo, but
Yeah. And I think that's the that right there. How do I put this? Part of getting uncomfortable with being unsuccessful needs to
Mhm.
be comfortable with those who see things in you,
Mhm. Mhm.
because
Yeah.
there's a lot I didn't see in myself then
Yeah.
that you would push out, that you would point out. I'm the same way. There's some things I see in you, so I gravitate towards you. Like, come on, Fee,
Yeah. Yeah.
come on, Fee Cree.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I think, for because success, usually if success, you're going to be a trailblazer, and sometimes you don't feel like doing that. You don't feel like having the responsibility of bringing somebody else along, or you don't want to be a leader. Sometimes it's a selfish thing.
hmm, yeah,
Just to, like sometimes you just want to worry about you and you. you know
right.
and so I think with I the question, and I was just scrolling through, and I meant to actually comment and follow the post. It said, what's the difference in being a leader and leading, or is there
Hmm,
being a leader and leading? And so at first you might think, oh, it's the same, but when you actually think about it, no, it's not the same. I don't think um every leader, I don't think you can, it's not the same, because you could tell your kids, hey, you a group of kids, hey, come on, let's go. And then you could say, Bobby, I want you to go to the front and I want you to turn right when you get there, right? And he's
Mm-hmm.
going to follow instructions. So he's being a leader because you gave him instructions,
Mm-hmm.
So I think, sometimes you want to go the solo
Yeah.
route.
Yeah.
And you don't want to worry about the success or lack thereof of anyone else. And so a lot of times that's a big part of, the complacency, or that's the big part of being satisfied with where we are, especially how we met, in the
Yeah.
type of environment that we met in, we're working in. It was not a solo gig at all.
Right.
It was about, let us all work together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, that may have had a lot to do with why you were like, no, I'm cool. Let me just get this little check right here. Let me get this little money right here. This is enough.
Let me hold on to these
Sometimes,
coins.
yeah, this is doing what I in that car note. I wanted to do this for this car note.
Mm-hmm.
But what
Yeah.
about the mortgage? What if, God wanted you to be able to do the mortgage?
Ooh, you speaking. You speaking.
you know, but that requires more work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that question that's a deep question.
Wasn't it? And now I
Who
can't even remember who posted it, but I'm gonna go back and try to see if I can find
look, I'm gonna post it.
it.
I'm gonna
Right.
put it up.
Yes.
It's gonna let
Yes.
me put a star right next to that.
Uh-huh.
Asterisks,
Yes.
underscores.
Right. Chime in, people. Chime in.
Yes. But I think it's funny to me because I see people who believe they're leaders,
Mm-hmm.
and they being a leader, plain and simple, in success, there is some sort of leadership that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But being a leader, a successful leader,
Yeah.
means you got to have some people skills.
Yes. Yep.
And let's just be honest, there's some folks walking around here think they got some people skills. Just because you bark don't make you a leader.
Exactly.
Because a bulldog can bark all day long, bite, and I can still live past it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All I need is something blunt to pop up over his head. I'm just saying, just gonna put it out
Right. Right.
there.
Mm-hmm.
I think people skills, people are very
Yeah.
afraid of the word no.
Mm-hmm.
When 80% of the time, no means not right
Yeah. Yeah. And people not knowing, don't take that no personally.
now. There it is.
You have to know that it's because I tell you no. Now you're gonna go in the corner, take your toys, and we not gonna be able to play again.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely have to, um, not just people skills, but a heart for people.
There it is.
You really have to have a heart for people. And when you do that, especially when you're working with people and it's dependent upon your success, if you really have a heart for people, it's easy for you all to work together, to grow together, to move together,
Right.
versus I'm just going to do this because in order for me to get what I need, to be able to say hi to you today. you
Yeah.
know so there is I think you definitely have to have people skills, a heart for people, and a genuine concern for, to
Right.
me, it that's a part of a good leader. And yeah, that just ties back to, success.
I guess we have to realize you can't be successful alone,
Yeah.
and everybody doesn't know what that looks like. Like, just because people say, oh, I got this, I don't need nobody to do this, I got this by
Mhm.
myself. Maybe you do have it,
Mhm.
but you all the way up at the top by yourself. And now
Mhm.
what?
Right. Right.
And you have to develop the people skills.
Yeah. And I think they grow. That part of it is ever evolving.
Yes.
Because every situation is going to call for a different response.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you have to keep your mind in a place where you don't arrive,
Yeah, there it is.
you know.
Oh, let me write that down. Keep your mind in a place you don't arrive.
Yeah, you just, because if you do, then I think you miss out on your opportunity for growth and
Right.
your opportunity fresh success, for new success.
Yeah.
Because I think success is going to be wrapped differently, in different stages of our lives.
Mm.
So like what was meant, um what it success meant for us 5 years ago doesn't mean the same thing today.
Yeah. Right.
you know
You're right.
so we're ever evolving, we're ever changing, and so you can never feel like you have arrived. Uh, Humility is a big part of genuine success. Humility.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And you're right. What I mean, 5 years ago, success to me was being able to feed my kids.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry,
Mhm.
chicken is higher than it was 5 years ago.
Mhm. Mhm.
The children are 5 years older.
Yeah,
You know, things are. I mean, my life has
your
changed.
life has changed, and now you have a young man here who can help you feed the youngin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, that don't mean that he do it all the time, but
Right.
at least,
Well, let's be honest. He don't even live here no more.
right,
So,
right, right. But guaranteed, if Mama called and said, "Hey, I need you to bring your brother a Big Mac," I'm sure he
absolutely.
will bring, that Big Mac. So
Right.
your success now has shifted where your community, your village is different.
Mm.
Now your son, your oldest son, he's a part of that village for your younger son in a different way
Mm-mm-mm.
than he was 5 years ago.
Right.
You know?
Mm. You putting it out there today. You just come. We only at 20 minutes
Right.
now, Fee.
Well, Jesus.
You making it plain.
Look, it's not scripted, so honey, it's something that I'm gonna go eat off of too. Trust.
I'm saying unskip. I need to add that uncut, unedited, unfiltered, unscripted.
Unscripted.
Unscripted. That new hashtag to Love
Right.
Chat. I really I think the other thing, my downfall in success is number one, realizing when I get in a, what do I want to call it, a funk,
Mm-hmm.
that bump in the road where you just like, I don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
is tapping into those people. I'm guilty because it used to be that Fee might be poking at me, or she wouldn't have to poke at me because I would check in. I'm guilty of getting in that space where I'm just like, no, I don't want to, even though I know I need to.
Mm-hmm.
And we all get into that. I think that's one of our downfalls of success
Mm-hmm.
is, realizing it's okay,
Right.
but you got to keep your village right. So you get a feed creed. It's like, hey, come here.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What you
Mm-hmm.
doing over there?
Right.
I ain't seen your website in a while. I don't see your
Uh-huh.
phone number. I don't see your post. What's going on?
Right, 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 right.
What's happening?
Uh-huh.
Because I don't see you.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
In order to be successful, as you said, you have to be present.
Yes.
And sometimes there are times I don't want to be present.
Yes.
But if I have the right village around me,
Mm-hmm.
being present is easier because they'll pull me out of that space.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's important for us um to have balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think um that is a big hiccup for people
Yeah.
um going towards success, because it can be, especially when you're talking about an entrepreneur, you're talking about a creative, you're talking about, someone that's making things happen for themselves. It can
Mm-hmm.
be overwhelming, but I think
Yeah.
balance, going in knowing, okay, yes, I'm gonna have to work hard, but I need to have a little bit of time for play as well. And I
Yeah.
think so many times as entrepreneurs, we do not healthily put those boundaries up for playtime or for nothingness.
Yeah. I
It's
like that.
definitely imperative. And when you don't have that etched out, then that's when you get burnt out. And then instead of
Yeah.
taking 2 days to do nothing, it turns into a week of doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then now you're really starting back over again, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So, yeah, sometimes in the beginning, you have got to go super hard. But if you're going super hard, you still got to give yourself 4 hours in a day to veg out, you know what I'm saying? Eat a taco and fall asleep in the middle of the day, or, whatever is going to give you that
Mm-hmm.
woo-saw moment. And
Yeah.
and because we don't come in knowing and allowing ourselves that, I think that's a big part of the drawback. Like, man, okay, I
Yeah.
can do it, but I really don't want to, because I know the work that's going to have to be applied to it. But
Right.
I think we need to go in knowing, okay, I'm gonna have some downtime. I'm gonna be able to, wash a load of clothes and fold them in one day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think
Mm-hmm.
that I've learned that 5 years later,
Yeah.
the balance, okay, yeah, tomorrow I'm not going to do anything and I'm going to be okay. And I'm not going to be mad at myself or punish myself. But then, like
Right.
you're saying, the village, when I don't to it, where I'm not out there, then I have somebody saying, "Are you okay? What's
Yeah.
what's going on?" You know. So I think it's important. Like you said, success isn't a one person road. You've got to
Yeah.
have, some people around you.
Right. My as an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
and if anybody knows me, I also keep a job
Mhm.
as well as I am an entrepreneur with more than one thing going on.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Few things, here's the love chat.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
And I have more than one business.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a mom.
Mhm.
So first it was the finding the balance.
Yeah.
And like you said, it took 5 years
Mm-hmm.
to find the balance,
Yeah.
5 years. And I went into being to the business we were doing,
Mm-hmm.
putting other businesses on hold
Mm-hmm.
so that I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Getting burnt out,
Mm-hmm.
being tired of looking at. But
Yeah. Yeah.
the biggest lesson I learned, though, is just because you're a part of my business, I need to learn that you supporting my business isn't always you pouring in with money.
Right.
Um, I think one of the biggest mistakes of being a friend to an entrepreneur is not realizing how to support us as
Yeah.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna put this out here. Hey, I'm here now, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We don't know how to support our friends, and I'm a big person. If I got it and I can afford it, as hey, I don't have a problem with pouring into you.
Right.
But my biggest pour into you is referring
Mm-hmm.
my friends,
Mm-hmm.
sharing your business. I can tell everybody about whatever dress, whatever shoe, whatever hair product,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't tell them about my friend's business.
Right. Right.
It's not a sales pitch. It's just, oh, you looking for that? You need to talk to Speed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You live where? Oh, Fee is out there. You need your hair done? Fee's out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got so hurt by people not supporting me financially
Mm-hmm.
and had to learn I don't need them to support me financially. I needed them to open their mouth.
Right.
And even if they don't,
Mm-hmm.
I need to be okay with it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I think that the sooner that entrepreneurs understand what support looks like,
Mm-hmm.
then we can have our family and friends,
Mm-hmm.
support us in ways, that help us, that work for us. Sometimes that's not involving your wallet, you know.
Right.
And so, and I think in this environment that we're in, where so many people are becoming entrepreneurs, where God is
Mm-hmm.
really allowing people to flourish in their businesses, it's so easy to do just what you said. Just to say, I mean, when I'm talking about, sometimes when I'm doing my business, I'm shouting people out as they come on. I'm shouting, oh, yeah, and she got that, and she got that, and she got that. And
Right.
it does not take from me.
Mm-mm.
It adds to me because I'm not being
Right.
stingy. And then I'm
Right.
showing people how easy it is, you know, to put your hand out and help somebody, you know.
Right.
So, because, yeah, this about my stuff right now, but their stuff is different than my stuff. And
Right.
you go to Walmart, you go to CVS, you go to the gas station. They're different things that you go to different stores for different items. So why not
Right.
tell you that I have friends
Mm-hmm.
all of those needs that you have? And so when we
Yep.
show people, that, but I think that's a part of our growing, and I think that's a part of
Mm-hmm.
us separating, and not taking things personally,
Right.
like we were talking about. Not my no doesn't mean that I don't like you. That my no doesn't mean that I don't want to be your friend anymore. Me
Mm-hmm.
buying from me does not mean, that they don't support me. And so and you don't know where other people are and what their history has been, so you have to
Right.
continue to be um, the successful entrepreneur that you are in whatever field it is that you're in. um, and I
Right.
think that's a big part of what you're asking. Why are we comfortable not being successful? um, because one, you have to get get your mind off of what people are going to think about you.
Yep.
That is a big hindrance of worrying about what someone is going to perceive of you, if they're going to approve of you, your whatever, venue or whatever business or whatever you're doing, if they're going to approve of it. If God has told you this is what he wants you to do, trust me, there's going to be an audience for it. And there are
There it
going
is.
to be some naysayers, but that's okay. Keep going. Keep going.
Right.
Keep going.
Because
So,
let's be honest, the naysayers ain't doing nothing but putting your name
yeah,
in somebody's ear.
yeah, you know,
Let them
uh-huh.
talk.
Yeah, somebody gonna say, well, let me see
Let,
what you're talking about, too. Let me check it
right.
out for myself.
Next thing you know, they bought all kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
And how did you find out about me? Oh, my friend such and
Mm-hmm.
so. What? She's never bought anything from me. I didn't even know she knew. Well, if you only knew, boo.
Right. Right.
It wasn't
There
a
it is.
referral.
Right. It was an
Uh-huh.
unfurred referral. And it's, I think, well, that, I, let's be honest, because when it comes to success, this is not about just being an entrepreneur. This is entrepreneurship, being on your
Mm-hmm.
job, being, your
Mm-hmm.
family, your
Mm-hmm.
friends, ministry, all of that, life, period. We are, as a people, so afraid that we're going to lose something. That just
Yeah.
keeps coming up. We're afraid if we open our mouth, we're going to
Yeah.
lose business. We're afraid if we open our mouth, we're going to lose friends. The reality of it is, just as you said, if God gave it to you, I
Mm-hmm.
said that. You say it
Hello.
again. If God gave it to you, put a pin on that for a second, because some folks is walking around here using somebody else's
Mm-hmm.
gift, using somebody else's
Mm-hmm.
talent, using somebody else's
Mm-hmm.
anointing, using somebody else's
Yeah.
skills. And the reason it's not working out for you and there's no success and you're getting afraid and you're dropping off is because you're not doing what God called you
Right.
to do. We're going to pick up that
Yeah.
pen again. So if God gave it to you, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
first. Second, get comfortable with the fact that he's going to remove the people that aren't supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be there. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I, I have lost
Mm-hmm.
friends. There are some family members that don't talk to
Mm-hmm.
me. 5 years later, there's some family members that have come back and
Exactly.
apologized. There's some family members that never say anything, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? I can't wait to see you when I get on Facebook or
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. But they never say anything
Mm-hmm.
there. But what does that do? That just puts me back into an algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is still seeing me.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is still hearing about me.
Yeah.
I have to get comfortable with the fact that, number one, I said I wanted it, I asked for it. So things may not look like I think they're going to look if I really want the success.
Most definitely.
Which means which means some people have to be removed.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it back
Yeah,
to you
and
right there. Some people got to
you
be
have to be
removed.
okay with that.
Yes.
And I think
Yes.
um that's where you have to rely on your purpose and your destiny. And which is
Yes.
scary, right? Because if you felt like
Mm-hmm.
you was tied to so and so is not there anymore, then you're going to be apprehensive of continuing on in the journey towards
Mm-hmm.
success. But like you said, if God gave it to you, you, you just got to go ahead and you got to see it to the end. You got to see
Right.
it to the end. And I've dealt with, things of that nature. Like, how am I going to do this? You know, but then you have to check yourself like, okay, now, did God have you do this or that
Yep.
person?
Hmm.
And where's the power? The power belongs to God.
No, come
You know,
on. What?
so are you going to throw in the towel and, you know, throw away all of the hard work that has gone on because people have been removed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's a big, I mean, that's a big part. Being successful is not for the weary. It's not for the
Mm-hmm.
faint at heart. It really is not, and knowing that success is not your success is not incumbent upon someone else's opinion of what success is for you.
Hello. You preaching good,
It's
V.
like, and I think once we understand that, and once we get out of our neighbor's backyard and we tend to our
Mm.
stuff,
Mm.
the struggle is a little easier. It's a little easier,
Speak a
you
word.
know,
Speak a word, sis.
because I mean, and you don't know, you hear it said all the time, you don't know my story.
There it is.
You don't know what that person had to go through to get to the level of success that they have for themselves. And you may not even be
Right.
willing to do all of that.
Right. Or you may not be ready.
Yeah,
Because there's some stuff you gotta learn.
yeah, yeah,
But that don't mean you give up. You have to work with an expected end in
yes,
mind.
yes,
That's part of the process. I'm expecting this great end. What's at the end of this road is
yeah.
success. What's at the end of this world is something greater than I could
Mm-hmm.
imagine. It's something bigger than I could even get on my
Mm-hmm.
own. It's
That part right there.
ginormous. It's ginormous. And let's be honest, for those of you that know God like I know
Mm-hmm.
God, pressed down, shaken, running
Mm-hmm.
over, exceedingly abundantly. You have to work with your mindset just like that. He's going to do the exceeding, the
Yeah.
abundantly, more than I could ask or think
Mm-hmm.
about. 5 years ago when you met me, I was in a little apartment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a big old house
Mm-hmm.
now, but I'm in a whole lot bigger place than I was
Mm-hmm.
then. I didn't hardly have nothing. Now I got no room and I got
Right,
too
right,
much.
right, right. Mm-hmm.
Trying to give it
Yeah.
away. I don't know how big it's going
Right.
to be, but I'm working with an expected end
Yeah.
in mind.
Yeah.
I expect that my success is going to be so big, I have to share it.
Most definitely.
That's part of
Yeah.
thinking big. And we can't be afraid of that. That you're afraid to be successful because you don't know what the end's going to be. Stop worrying about
Mm-hmm.
the end and just expect big
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. And
Mm,
just and get ready for the work.
mm.
Get ready for the work. And I think that goes back to answering the question, one, you're comfortable with not being a success because You don't want to do the work. You don't want failure to happen. And in order for you to be successful, failure has to happen.
Yeah.
But we are a spoiled generation. We don't want
Mm.
failure at all around us. And it's not like you're saying, oh, okay, I accept failure. No, but failure is a part of growth. And so
Right.
you have to get your mindset ready for the possibility of failure. And then I think if you're
Right.
ready for it, then you have the strength and the ability to overcome it and to get on back in there. But if you go
Right.
in blindly and just willy nilly,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you get knocked off
Mm-hmm.
your butt. That's when you just looking around like, what had happened? What had happened?
Mm-hmm. What?
You know,
Right.
no, knowing that there is a possibility that this won't work, but I'm about to give it everything I have until it doesn't.
Right.
So
It's funny because that thing right there, depending on what it is, um, or even if I just use what, where we were, how we met.
mm-hmm.
Oh, I went in and said, oh no, I would never do that.
Uh-huh.
This is it. This is the one right
Yeah.
here. Everybody's gonna love this. Everybody's gonna not
Mm-hmm.
expecting failure, not expecting a
Yeah.
slow moment. And when it hit, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
what? What you
Mm-hmm.
mean? But I still got to pick
Mm-hmm.
myself up. And what I learned was, even though I may not be on this particular, like, okay, let me reword that. Even though my journeys, travel may
Mm-hmm.
shift, where I've already been is a lesson for where
Most
I'm going.
definitely. Absolutely.
Mm,
Positively. It is.
mm,
But
mm,
that
mm,
speaks
mm.
to the maturity level,
Yes,
because some people went through the same thing and took nothing away from it.
right,
How? I don't know. Because where we were, we learned so
right.
much from ups and from downs. There was so
Yes,
much. And really, that was like a boot camp, or a boot camp
it
for
was.
success. I wouldn't change
Mm-hmm,
anything about it. Not a thing.
mm-mm,
But again, that speaks to, I think your mindset too. Like, I'm not going to waste nothing. You know what I'm saying? That was
right.
my time. I'm not going to waste that time. So what can I gain? What can I gain from that? What
Right.
did I gain from that? Applying those things today. Still
Mm-hmm,
applying those things today. I'm ever so grateful for that, you know.
right.
And I really do want to say that um if we wanted to, we still could have pushed forward and been successful.
Mm-hmm.
But I think,
And I would never say we were
yeah,
unsuccessful. I just would say my expectations were
yes,
different. And I had to realize that it was meant for
yes,
something
yes,
else.
yeah, yeah,
Period.
yeah. So I think definitely success, again, I say, is not for the weary. It's not. And
Mm-mm.
like you said, not just being an entrepreneur, that's in relationships,
Mm-hmm.
that's in ministry, that's with your family, that's even at your job in corporate America, like we were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
weight loss, that's in every aspect of anything that you set a goal for. There is
Right.
a tenacity that you have to obtain in order to reach success. You have to
Yes.
have a tenacity. You have to have every day. I'm gonna get on up and go at it again, even if my
Right.
getting up is at 11:30, and not like
Just get
this.
up.
My crazy self, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know,
I'm not
see,
doing it.
but and that's what we saying, right? My success is not necessarily your blueprint for success. You see what I'm saying?
There it is.
And because I
Mm-hmm.
get up earlier,
Absolutely.
that don't mean I'm more successful than you because you get up at 10.
Right.
Because it might take me until 10 to actually get my brain functioning. So
Speak.
we have to get in our lane, put the blinders on, and go for the end goal.
Yes. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
writing. I'm writing here.
Yeah.
It I the other part I also think about is you just touched on it is my success
Mm-hmm.
don't look like your success.
Mm-hmm.
Yours don't look like mine. We're so caught up with what others'
Mm-hmm.
success look like. It's one thing for them to inspire you. It's another thing for you to mimic them because you
Yes.
usually fail
Yes.
from mimicking
Yeah.
them. It it's we learn the thing
Mm-hmm.
success leaves clues.
Mm-hmm.
It does leave clues, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
clause to that. There's some things that they do
And
that
some
you
things
can't
that
do.
they do, they ain't gonna tell you that they do.
Hey, you better
You
come
see,
on up
like
in
when
here
somebody they bake a cake and that cake is salamin, you know what I'm saying? And you say,
slamming.
"Well, give me that recipe." They're gonna give you the
Mhm.
recipe, but they ain't gonna give you every ingredient. They gonna give you the recipe to
There
make
it
sure the
is.
cake come out all right, but they not gonna give you they golden
Right.
ingredient. Don't ever think that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because
Mm-mm.
I'm here still. You know what I'm saying? I'm still able to
There it
make
is.
this cake. You see what I'm saying? And not necessarily that it's something
My
bad about it, but you're not going to know every step that a person takes, even if they telling you everything. It's still going to be something that is left out. So that's why you have to take
right.
gems that's going to help you and then walk your walk out
Hmm.
for yourself.
Come on, speak. That's. I mean, let's be honest. My mama makes these. She called them hot water cornbread. I found out that's not what hot water cornbread they say. I don't know. One person's hot water cornbread they made with some hot water, but my mama's what I don't remember no water being around. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not looking at what she do. She tells me over and over again, I'm just gonna tell you how to make it. And
Hmm.
I say, no, I
Hmm.
don't want to. Because when I try, it don't taste
Yeah.
like yours.
Yeah.
And I want yours. My grandmother's beef stew, although I am gonna go over there and make her walk me through
Uh-huh.
that thing. I have heard people tell me they love my beef stew.
Hmm.
It ain't
Right.
my grandma.
Hmm. Exactly.
It's not
Hmm.
grandma's.
Because you know what?
And it's not
Yeah,
supposed to
and
be.
you didn't go through them those days where that stew carried you through. Not like grandma.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-mm.
remember where that stew carried her through. You hear me? So you
Come on.
she may have been praying and tarrying over that stew. And that's where that recipe
You speaking.
God
You
birthed that
speaking.
recipe for her. So you're not gonna be able. You can get close. You can get close, but it still ain't gonna be Medea's. You hear me?
But you see
My
what I'm
mama
saying?
make the most slammingest biscuits
And
ever. I know how to do them. But guess what?
slamming
Even though
it.
I can make them, my mama she can press out 50, 60 biscuits. And every single one of them is slamming. Guess how many I can make? 3.
20.
That's right. My family said, I can't understand that. I can make 3. I'm not my mama. I can make 3, and them 3 that I make is going to be slamming. So y'all better get a knife,
That's all that
carrot.
matters.
I can make them 3. You
Listen,
know what
3
I'm
is
saying?
a divine
But
number.
I
They don't
can't do it.
understand.
You know what I'm saying? It's so my mom's success in that ain't mine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get out of that. Stop
Mm-hmm.
expecting that. Like, I don't, listen, I'm going to be honest. I remember
Mm-hmm.
I used to do hair. I don't want to. The moment I can get to when I get to the success, where my time is my time, when I want it to be my time, however I want it to be my time, I'm going to be out in the Bay Area in Fee's chair, period. Every 2 weeks. Got it? I don't want to do hair. Okay? It's so bad that my
Right.
hair texture has changed.
Right.
I
Right.
don't
Right.
care.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. Do you hear me say I don't want to? I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to. Do I want
Right.
the success? Absolutely. But I don't
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
your success. Because if I got to get your, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jesus. If I
Mm-hmm.
want your success, that success
Mm-hmm.
I'm riding on that's yours
Yes.
is limited.
Yeah. My God.
It, it's very limited. Because like you
Yeah.
said, I don't know everything. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
everything ain't my business. One day, let me put it out there. One day, I had to preach one night. And right before I went up there, God gave me something to put with the sermon that must have slapped me all around the building before I could get up to the pulpit. And it was when you said that I didn't go,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go through what Grandma went through. It was the same Judas
Mm.
didn't kiss me on the cheek
My
that
Lord.
kiss you on your cheek. And that is very that ooh,
Mm-hmm.
that's at the top of the list. You got some Judases that's gonna be walking around here, so
Yeah.
you can't tell them
Yeah.
all of it
Yeah.
because they'll ruin it for you. Now you're rebuilding because you just had to
Mm-hmm.
have Judas around. Judas got a purpose, and then he got to be gone after he get his
Mm-hmm.
coins. But we want to keep him around. Oh, I just can't. That don't mean you're a people person because don't be a sucker. Don't be
Mm-hmm.
a sucker. You're sucker. Ooh, we got to man up, and I'm guilty of bringing people back. I am guilty of that. I will tell you that I am a work
Mm-hmm.
in process. I love hard. I am loyal to a
Mm-hmm.
fault.
Mm-hmm.
That is my
Mm-hmm.
weakness. But I gotta discern when you're
Yeah.
Judas.
Yes.
So I know you got a
Yeah.
purpose when you get up out.
Yes, ma'am.
I literally came out of the pulpit that day. It wasn't that he
Mm-hmm.
just wanted me to say that. It was also that he
Yeah.
wanted me to recognize that.
My God.
Because then Judas kissed me
Mm-hmm.
and stabbed me in my back.
Mm-hmm.
I love Judas, but I
Yeah.
love Judas from a distance.
You better if you want to keep living.
Right. And we talked about
Mm-hmm.
loving people from a distance last week. You
Mm-hmm.
got to know what that distance is. You can't be afraid to be
Yeah.
successful because Judas is showing up. You have to be
Listen,
able to stand up and say, I can still
listen.
treat them the
I'm
same way,
telling you. I'm
but
telling
they
you.
can't be
And
on this
be
road with me.
okay with it. And see, we want
Say
to
it again.
be, it's almost like a false, like, humility or false righteousness. Like, be okay with loving somebody from a
Mm-hmm.
distance. Be okay with that. But let it be
Yep.
genuine. Don't just be saying it and your heart
Yes.
is black and dirty toward them. You know
That
what the
we got to know what the
distance
distance
is
is.
and be okay with it. And don't let nobody and
Yep.
bully you into letting them back in close.
Don't be no
That's
punk.
the bottom line. And you're not going to
Period.
spiritually bully me. You got to love people, and you're
Mm-mm.
right. And who are you to say that I don't love them? Who are
You
you to
better
say that
come
I don't love?
on.
And because they're okay with you and because you're okay with them, that doesn't mean that I have to be okay with them up close. And I'm
Mm-mm.
okay with it. And I'm not telling you, and see, this is another
Right.
thing. We can't tell people they did such and such to me. If I was you, I wouldn't. No,
Mm.
because your walk is your walk.
Mm.
And
There
so
it
I'm
is.
not gonna taint nobody because of what they did. I'm just not gonna do it. So
And
mhm,
just because they did it to you doesn't
exactly.
mean that that's what they're going to do to me. It could mean that
Exactly.
they need me around so
Exactly.
that they can learn not to be.
Exactly.
Goliath got
Got
to
to.
fall sometime.
Or you gonna grow up, you
You going
know.
to learn
And
today.
my mom used to do that. My mom would tell me, my mom and my dad, they both had a very keen, they have a very keen, discerning spirit. Growing up, even when I was an
Mm-hmm.
adult,
Mm-hmm.
I would bring people around them, and I was an adult, and they okay, and I knew the ones they was feeling, and I knew the ones they weren't, and it has not come back
Mm-hmm.
wrong to this day. But
Mm.
they never said, "Don't you bring that person around here
Mm-mm-mm.
no more," because I needed to learn the lesson.
Right. Right.
Mm-mm.
They knew your lesson ain't my lesson, or just because or my lesson with this person, it may be
Yeah,
you may be their example,
yeah,
because that's what we're really supposed to be anyway. I can't. I think learning what from a distance means, it doesn't mean I treat you like a
yeah,
dog because you acted like
yeah.
me. It means as simple as looking at the Savior. You talked about him like a dog, but he
Mm-hmm.
still fed you. But you
Right.
wasn't with his crew when they went to the
Yeah.
next village. You talked about him like a dog, but he still
Oh
filled
yes.
you. But you wasn't hanging with his crew. You have to know what love means. If God calls you, oh, this is in turn real quick. If God calls you to walk up to your enemy, and I have had this happen, makes you go to your
Mm-hmm.
enemy and pray for him. You have to
Mm-hmm.
be obedient to that.
Better be.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
part of your success, especially in ministry. Ministry, people think ministry means we in church, we laying hands, speaking in tongues. That's not.
Right.
always ministry. Actually, 90% of
Right.
the time it's not.
How you walking?
If that's the
Mhm.
only place you minister, and
Mhm.
that's a problem.
Yes, ma'am.
But me walking in ministry, I think it
Mhm.
was a test. Thank the Lord, I
Mhm.
believe I
Mhm.
passed. Literally, we are
Mhm.
in church, and I'm not speaking with this person anymore because they've dogged out my family, they dogged me out, dogged out my friends, and they are clearly
Mhm.
visibly weary. And I'm in total, complete
Mhm.
worship and
Mhm.
get pulled out and said,
Yeah.
go over there and pray for her. What?
Yeah.
And I'm still new at this thing,
Mhm.
okay? When this happened, I'm still new. And I question, what? You
Mhm.
you're playing, right? That ain't what you said. I am delirious.
Yeah.
And I had to do it. That's loving from a
Yeah.
distance. I can still pray for you. But that don't mean you got to come and hang out at my house.
Yeah.
Oh, what? There it is.
Yeah.
I can't expect to be a success if I can't do the things that I
Yes.
least want to do. I almost threw the
Don't do
whole
it.
desk, but it's too heavy.
Don't do it, ma'am.
It's too heavy. I can't throw it. I
Mhm.
can't toss it
Mhm.
across the room.
Know your abilities, honey.
Look, that's a word right there. Know your ability.
Yes.
Well, I first of all, it doesn't even seem like it's been that long
Yes.
on this here line with you. It's just woo, woo,
Yes.
woo. Come
Yes.
on, Jesus.
The time has
Okay.
flown.
But right, before we go, there's two
Yes,
things I
ma'am.
need you to do. The first thing is if you were talking to your younger self or anybody who was like you or me, with this subject in mind, what would you tell them?
Ooh, honey, you should have sent me this, honey, early. Unscripted.
I'm sorry, child.
So I probably would say find out what your purpose and your destiny is from the Lord.
Ooh,
And that doesn't mean that He
ooh,
can't use people to help you find out what that is, but make sure that He is the source.
mm-hmm. Ah, you bringing it back
Yeah.
up again. The source. Oh my God,
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
That
Okay.
I
Okay.
would say that.
Ooh, I'm not gonna pick this back up because we can go on for
Mhm.
another hour. This just got real good.
Yeah.
I will wait. Okay. The second thing, where can my tribe follow you on social media?
They can follow me on Facebook, I'm Felicia Curtis, and on Instagram, which I don't. I need to really up my Instagram page because is
Come on,
all the way
Insta.
over there. But I am Felicia Curtis underscore. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now y'all know, tribe. Y'all know about Fee Creek. And we're gonna let y'all go right
Yes,
now because
yes,
me and
yes,
Fee Creek
yes.
can go on for a long time, okay? Well, this has been another episode of the Love Tribe. I mean, the Love
That's
Chat
okay.
Tribe. I can't even talk. I got messed up with the subject. This has been another episode of the Love Chat Tribe. You just got through episode 49, where the subject was, why are you so comfortable with with not being a success? We've been uncut, unedited, unfiltered, and this is a wrap for the night. Thank you, Fee, for being on the show with me
Thank
tonight.
you for having me.
You,
I love you
girl.
more. Enjoy myself.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, tribe, it's a wrap. Love y'all. Good night.